Greetings, friend. I will show you how to solve a Sudoku puzzle with a strategy that is truly a gift. Not only is this Shye's first video as my Friday featured setter, but by the time Shye sees this video, it will be her birthday. I wish you a happy birthday, Shye, and as Simon Anthony would say, I hope you get lots of cake. Stay tuned, and later in the video, I'll reveal another fun fact about our Friday featured setter. Click below if you want to give it a go. With that, it's solving time. Okay, when you start with this puzzle, look at some Snyder notation. Get going here. So you can see you have this one cutting across and the one coming up column 7. So there's only two places for one right here. And so Snyder notation, anytime a 3x3 block, you see two possibilities for a candidate. You mark them, and it's help us figure out some advanced strategies. Also be able, if you solve one of these cells, you can solve the other one immediately for that candidate. And we're going to test this puzzle by seeing if there's anything we can solve easy by using these Snyder marks. And I believe that's the only thing we can do. Oh, we got these ones over here, and that's about all we can do with just the ones. So you go to the twos, and we got 3 twos in this puzzle. So there's two possibilities for 2 right there. And then I don't see other spots we can put the 2s in this puzzle. So we're going to go to the 3s, and there's quite a few 3s here. So you can look and see that we got 2 places for a 3 right here. And then we got 2 places for a 3 here in block 2. And I got 3 places for a 3, so I'm not going to mark that in block 1. We're going to keep on just kind of working through that. And I'll say the other thing you probably notice, the way this puzzle is, Shye does a great job of telegraphing. And so by putting these digits here and kind of leaving this open, she's actually asking you to kind of look and go, what is special about these columns? And then by putting some extra givens going into here, this is going to create some restriction down here. This is kind of where your eyes are looking at. You're like, oh, I just solved the way I feel like it. Actually, the setter, like Shye, really good. This Keylux is also really good at this, is directing your eyes to where she wants you to look and give you a hint on where you should be looking to solve. All right, so the 4s, look, I got 2 places for a 4 here in block 9, and don't see anything else I can do with the 4s. Let's go to the 5s. I think there's only the 1 5 right there, and we can't do any Snyder marks to 5. 6s are interesting, all right, because what you'll see is there's 2 spots for a 6 here, and there's 2 spots for 6 here, and we're going to come back to that. All right, we're going to come back to those 6s. How about these 7s? All right, 2 places for a 7 there. We do have quite a few 7s in this puzzle. You might think, okay, well, we got enough 7s. We're going to get some solves here with some 7s. The answer is no. Actually, we're not going to be able to solve anything with the 7s just yet. So let's move to the 8s. We do have a couple 8s, and the 8s make this like nice pointing pair right here. So because this 8 cuts across row 6 and up column 5, the 8s are limited to these 2 spots here in block 5, which means 8 can't be anywhere else along row 4. We actually do have an 8 here and here, so they couldn't be there anyway. But what it does, the same effect, the way it comes up column 5 and across row 2. So now you have another pointing pair of 8s, and in this case, it limits the 8s to these 2 spots here in block 3. In effect, what it does is this cell right here cannot be an 8 anymore. No other Snyder marks we can make with the 8s, and then we move to the 9th, and there's only one 9, so we're not going to be able to get anything with the 9th. And so when you get to this point, you go, okay, haven't gotten anything yet. So the setter's telling me there's something a little bit harder I got to find. So Shye's idea is going to involve that we need to look next to the single candidate strategies. If we didn't find a single candidate, the next step would be to kind of fill out the cells of interest with buy value cells and see if you can get something there. But before I get to that, I do want to let you know that Shye, amazing setter, and I have some other amazing setters. In fact, they create these classic puzzle packs. And this month it's by Logan Wall, and it's a lot of fun. It has to do with summertime themes. And if you want to get those puzzle packs, you got to join the Smarty Party. Click on the pinned comment below, and you can get those puzzle packs. I also do solution videos, Discord access. It's a lot of value for you. Okay, so single candidate strategy, you look for each of these candidates to see if there's something there, skyscrapers, X-wings, swordfish, those types of strategy. I'll tell you the strategy involves using these 6s here, all right? Because these 6s do have a lot of impact on this puzzle being in the middle 3 columns, and they impact a lot these columns 3 and 7. So where could the 6s be? Where are the possibilities for the 6s in this puzzle? So we're going to mark that. Okay, and we're going to mark over here, and now get rid of the actual 3 6s. And I think once you see this, this is going to be the gift that I was talking about. All right, so look right there, and do you see an advanced strategy? In fact, you see 2 advanced strategies. Hopefully, you see advanced strategy in at least 2 different places. There's some wonderful things going on with this puzzle right here. And this is the beautiful part. This is the gift. Okay, what we have is an X-Wing. And we don't have just one X-Wing. And this has to do with the name. Think it over, think it under. So there's a double X-Wing that's working to remove some of these cells here. Okay, the one I first saw when I first saw this was right here in rows 2 and 6. And I'll make those yellow. And so the idea is anytime you have a candidate limited to the same 2 columns in 2 rows, so in rows 2 and 6 are limited to columns 3 and 7, that's an X-Wing, which means the 6 has to be here and here, or it's here and here. And so you can eliminate every other 6 along that column. So column 3 and 7, we can eliminate the 6s. So this cell can't be a 6 anymore, and this cell cannot be a 6 anymore. All right, we're going to remove that from the 6. And now what it does is there was a second X-Wing that you saw, but there's also, this just created a third X-Wing. Okay, the second X-Wing you see right from the bat is right here. So we could have started with this X-Wing out here, and I'll change my colors back for you, just so we don't get any confusion here. All right, in columns 1 and 9, we had an X-Wing working across the rows. And so same thing, 6 there and there, there and there. So we can eliminate 6s across. The other X-Wing that we just created is now here in rows 4 and 8. But they're going to make the same eliminations this time around. So we'll just keep the yellow where it's at. And so what it means now is we can eliminate a 6 from here, 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 and here. So we'll get rid of those colors. This is beautiful. And before we go any further, I do want to share my fun fact with you about Shye. Okay, I asked Shye, how do you come up with the puzzle names? So this is think it over, think it under. And what she said is, my puzzle names are usually purposefully abstract. I don't want to hint too much what the puzzle will be about, the title, as long as it's something that keeps fitting in terms of vibes, style. And then she'll give the puzzle all sorts of names. Give you a song that she likes, quotes from friends, anything goes. Nice. So sometimes there's some meaning in those names, sometimes not. But I do like the names of Shye's puzzle. And this type strategy actually reminds me of another puzzle of Shye that I featured. I'll put a link to it at the end. You do want to check that out. And while you're at it, subscribe to Smart Hobbies. You won't miss any new content. Okay, and if you're just not that familiar with how X-Wings work, I did make an X-Wing tutorial. I'll put a link to it right here. You can check that out. And you can solve Sudoku puzzles with X-Wings even better. I'm going to leave all the colors up because we're going to use the missing 6s to do some great solving now. If you look across row 9, we got a 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How much damage did those 6s do to row 9? Okay, first and foremost, the 6 stays here, but we know that a 6, 8, 9 can't be in that cell anymore, right? If it's not colored, no 6. Right here, we know this can't be a 6 or an 8 or a 7, so that's a 5, 9. Right here, this can't be a 6 anymore, and it can't be a 7 or an 8. So we can get rid of 7, 6, 7, or 8, and we can get rid of the 5 because it's right there. And then right here, you got a 5. We are keeping the 6. 7, 8, 9. So we can just get rid of the 5 right there. Awesome. And hopefully you see what this does for us solving wise. Now this can only be a 9. So we can solve that for a 9, which makes this a 5 and makes this a 7. Great. And now we got the 5, 7, 9. So you have a 6, 8 right here, and you have a 6, 8 right there. Once we solve the 7, you probably notice we displace the snarl mark. So anytime you displace the snarl mark, that means you can solve another cell right away. So we are going to be able to solve this cell now for a 7, which is going to help us displace this Snyder and solve this cell for a 7. And this 7 displaces that Snyder and solves that cell for a 7. And now we've gotten all the 7s taken care of in this puzzle. Something else I want to show you before I get rid of these marks. If you look right here, what could this cell be? Well, it can't be a 1. It could be a 2, but it can't be a 3, can't be a 4, 5, and now with the X-wing, it can't be a 6. Can't be a 7, 8, or 9. So we can actually solve this cell now for a naked single 2, and that's going to help us with our solving. All right, I wanted to show that. Now we can get rid of all the colors. So go here, eliminate those colors, get back to solving mode, because what does this do? All right, we have a 2 in column 7, 2 in column 9, 2 in row 4. Now we know this is a 2, and we're going to take advantage of all those Snyder marks we made to start doing some more solving. You got 1 here, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So this is actually a 1 and 2 naked pair. Okay, I will mark that because I want to kind of show the restrictions we have there. But you got this 9 coming up. You got this 9 cutting across. So this actually has to be a 9 now. Okay, and then with this 8 coming down and this 8 cutting across, we can solve this for an 8. We're going to be able to work our way across row 5. So what we're missing is a 4 and a 5. I got a 5 right there. So here's your 4 and here's your 5. And now what I call this is Shye kind of rewards you. You find the intended logic, and now you're rewarded with kind of a gentle solve path moving forward. But we're not done, so we got to keep making sure we solve this correctly so we don't make any mistakes and think that we messed up. Okay, because this 4, this has to be a 4, and this has to be your 6. And now once we start solving some of these 6s, we're going to be able to get pretty much all of the 6s. Okay, so what's missing here? We don't have a 5 yet in row 6, which means this has to be a 6 right there. Nice. And then with this 6 and this 6, this has to be your 6 there. So we kind of figure out where the 6 and the 8 are. Looking good there. And now with this 6 cutting across and this 6 coming down, this is a 6, which displaces that Snyder 1. And then what we have up here looks like a 2 and a 3. Oh, I got my 3 here. So here's 3 and there's 2. Awesome. With these 2s, this has to be a 2 now, and that has to be a 3. And we're missing a 1 and a 9. I got my 1 here, so here's your 1, here's your 9. Okay, great. And we got a 5 and an 8 right there. I'll just make those marks so we don't forget about them. These 2 1s and these 2 1s, we're going to switch to cross-hatching because now it's the fastest way to get through the rest of the solve. And now we've knocked out most of the 1s, but now you got to find this 1 here and go, that's a 1 to give us this as a 2 and that as a 1. And now with this 2, we know we got a 2 and a 9 here in block 8 that we can solve. I don't see a 9 yet in block 7, so we can solve that. Looking for a 3 and a 5. I see the 3 right there, so here's your 3, here's your 5. Try to clump if you can and solve 2 cells at a time. We got a nice full house here. We also solved that 3, so we know that's got to be your 3, which displaces a Snyder 3, but we're looking for a 4 and an 8, and my 8's right there. I mean, so Shye just gave you the 8 to find that for a quick solve. Now we're displacing this Snyder 8, which means we can solve that cell for an 8. Beautiful. And now what we have is called 2 full houses here. So we know we can solve both of those cells. What are the missing candidates? What we're missing, it looks like a 5 and a 9. So here's your 5 and here's your 9. Okay, and now with this 9 and these 2 9s, we know we can solve for a 9 right here. I'll look over, oh, I see that 9, so we know we can solve for a 9 right there. And we create another full house in column 1, so we can solve that for a 6. Okay, 6 and a 6 here will help us solve for the 6. Help us solve for this 4. Another full house. Love it. We know we got, looks like 5, and let's try to clump it together with another 4. Another full house. We're going to be able to solve for your 5 right there, which makes us solve this 8 and this 5. Disambiguate that. And what's left? Well, this 8 is going to help us solve for the 8 here. And our last cell is a 4. You need to watch this other video if you want to solve more of Shye's gifted strategies. Thank you so much, Shye, for being my Friday feature setter. Happy birthday, and thank you so much for watching.